moved out to LA in 1980, and I was on scholarship at Dupre Dance Academy right off the bat. My first dance job was Grease 2. And I remember when we started filming, there were 16 principal dancers and then a bunch of extras. And I would watch, Michelle Pfeiffer and the Pink Ladies, and I'm thinking, this doesn't look that hard. Maybe I want to do acting too, not just dancing. And so I started taking some cold reading workshops after we finished filming. I think I went for a year auditioning for this and that, never got a call back or anything. And so when I got the call for Ninja 3, The Domination, I had no idea what a ninja was. And I had to do the possession scene. And I didn't know how to act yet either. But I did it, and then I left because I had a job as a flash dancer. It was some guy in Des Moines, Iowa, and he hired a bunch of talent from LA to come out and perform for his birthday party. And so I did that, and then I went home to Kansas, and I saw my family, and I got the phone call that I had a call back. 9 a.m. call, which is ridiculous. No, who does a call back at 9 in the morning? I barely got in, Wednesday night. Thursday morning I go in. When I went back for the call back, I believe that Menachem and Yoram both were in the room, although I don't know if I knew who they were, because to me, I was just worried about the scene and the guys, and by the end of that day, I got the call that I got the job. And I literally packed my bags and left for Phoenix in 3 days. And I had no idea what the script was. I had no idea what the deal was. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I had a lead role in a movie, and I took it. So that's the beginning of Ninja. It was really, honestly, a really fun experience. I remember when I arrived, Shmulik greeted me, and so he took me around and introduced me to everybody. Immediately, it felt like we were already behind schedule. There was kind of a sense of, franticness, like, wardrobe, and, I met the, Lily and Moni who did hair and makeup, and, they wanted to change my look. I had very long straight hair, and they wanted, me to look a little bit more like Flashdance, like Jennifer Beals. So I went through several permanents that first week. I still hadn't read a script for like the first week that I was there. I loved Sam Furstenberg from the moment I met him. He is the kindest man. He was calm, and he really did help me through, kind of lead me through the scenes. I was like kind of hung up on continuity. So when we would film something and like there was, an object on the desk next to me, and then, 2 hours later you're back there, filming again. I was like, wait, where's that thing isn't there anymore? And he's like, don't worry about it. It's not about the thing. So he was really great to work with.
By nearby, maybe?
I told you he was dead when I found him.
But are you sure?
I didn't examine him. I'm not a paramedic, for Christ's sakes. What is this anyway?
Calm down.
I played Christy Ryder. She was a telephone lineswoman, and I did have to learn how to climb a telephone pole. They actually took me to a training place and put the boots on with the claws and terrified me. I'm afraid of heights. Having never, done karate, they immediately had me training, so that they could get me looking like a black belt. That was hard. That was really hard. And I don't even know how long it was. I mean, it felt like maybe it was only a few days before we started filming. It might have been a week preparation. But they had to teach me like fighting stances and how to do a roundhouse kick. And to me it was choreography. That's how I looked at it. It was just learning a different kind of dance step. I was in good shape, and Jordan made me get up and run with him. Just about every morning at 5:30 downtown, we looped around some park. I don't remember where it was. And it was really beautiful. We'd watch the sun come up, and then we'd go back, shower, and get ready to go to set. He was super sweet, Jordan Bennett, and really took me under his wing and kind of held my hand through at least getting started. He had knowledge that I didn't have, and I trusted him. He was a friend. We kind of just had each other. We spent a lot of time together. When I arrived in Phoenix, Jordan took me to see the movie so I would kind of know what I was getting into. I was a little bit mortified because, like I said, I hadn't read the script. I didn't really know. And I was like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into here? It's hard, you know, when you're filming, there's a lot of sitting around and waiting. And it's really hard to be disciplined, to be fit and to be ready. And, you know, as a dancer, I knew that because you could be sitting for 2 hours and all of a sudden you're like, okay, we want you on set. And you're like, oh my God, you know. So it was a little bit like that, you know, when we were filming the fight scenes especially. You know, for me, I wanted everything to look as real as possible. And you know, it is hard to have a fight scene with somebody and not make contact. So there was sometimes a little tiny bit of contact. You know, when the guys come out after the gym, I've done the aerobics class, and the guys in the alley, big, huge guys, start, you know, kind of hassling me. That fight scene, I do think I actually threw kicks at those guys. There were a few fight scenes that I did with Sho Kosugi, and I absolutely was not going to forget the choreography because I thought he will take my head off. It was fast. You know, we didn't do those in slow motion. I mean, they are full on, full speed. And it was quite exhilarating. It was really fun. You see stuff in movies all the time, the finished product, but you don't know what it really takes to get those scenes to look like they do. That fascinated me. And I wanted to do all my own stunts. I really did. I fought with them all the time. I'm like, please just let me do a spinning kick one time that you'll show it, you know, the cemetery scene. But they hired a stunt girl to do that for me. They're like, no, you might twist your ankle, because it was coming off of a little trampoline. And I'm like, but I was a gymnast. I can do a trampoline.
Oh, God.
Anybody who's watched Ninja knows about the V8 juice. When I tilted my head back and poured, it like went all over me. And then I, you know, do this back bend out of the chair or the couch, whatever it was, onto the floor. So then when we cut to do the part on the floor, you know, they wanted it was too messy. So they just had like a little bit. And I'm going, but there was a lot. It was like running down my neck and my chest. So we would get in arguments about things like this. And in the end, it didn't really matter. My little apartment or warehouse, whatever that was pretty fascinating. I had swords coming out of my closet. You know, there was like laser lights coming out of that. A lot of special effects went on there. And then when we had the scene at the very end, when I get sucked into the closet, they actually built the entire set on some kind of a hydraulic system. So they bolted everything down to the floor, the bed, the dresser, anything that wasn't supposed to move. And they actually tilted the entire floor. So when you see me hanging onto the bed frame and letting go, I really was falling down into the closet. And all those things that were under my bed, I got so bruised. I literally was black and blue from shooting that over and over and over, many, many takes. They sent me to LA and they made a Lucinda doll. Of course, they dressed the doll in the same clothing that I wore in the scene. The problem was, so I'm got the belt on, I'm shackled, I'm, tied up. James Hong is, exercising me, the demon out of me. And I start spinning. So the Lucinda goes like that, and then they cut to this doll whipping around. Well, she didn't have any weight. So it's my head and my, looking like me, but she was just like fluff. So the doll is just like doing this really awkward, loop around it just spin, whatever. Anyway, it was kind of crazy. And then of course I come up and my eyes are red. I had to put in the red contact lenses. And I wear contact lenses, so I was used to putting contacts in my eyes. But no, they were not very comfortable.
Who's she?
I don't know, but it's all right.
So the hot tub scene, I think I felt the most evil. Whether that was the actress coming out to do that or just some dark part of me, I don't know. But the girls were terrified of me. And they wouldn't let me dunk them underwater. They didn't, they were afraid that I was really gonna kill them. They literally would come up, they were like with their faces above, while they were dead. Like you could tell they were, they were so afraid. And I'm thinking, no, they gotta be like, you gotta go under the water. You gotta die. Well, we had an ending in Phoenix, and I immediately started shooting Breakin', like within a month, I think. And so when I got the call that they wanted to do some reshooting for the ending of the movie, they had to fit me with a wig, and we drove out somewhere north of LA. There was really no dialogue, so we were just instructed by Shmulik what was happening. So it would be like, okay, so the ninja, he's fallen down the thing, and he's struggling to get up and he can't. We were supposed to react, but it was funny. It was hard not to laugh because the way he was describing it, we're just like going, oh my God. This sweet moment at the end that didn't really maybe feel like what you'd be doing or looking like. I don't know. I really struggled with that ending, with the new ending, because I killed the evil ninja in the original ending. Basically, I had become a ninja through this whole process. I think it was in that temple. It was all part of the temple thing. It needed to be a little more expanded. It did, yeah. It definitely needed to be a little bit bigger. You can't have an evil ninja wreak havoc on all these people and possess this girl and, take revenge and do all of this stuff and then not have a really grand finale. You gotta kill that ninja really, really good. And Sho was the only one that could do that. And he did.
Where Revenge of the Ninja left off, Ninja 3 begins. An epic struggle of superhuman strength and supernatural forces. Ninja 3, The Domination.
I don't know that if I had seen like the whole film all put together until it was released. They held on to it until the fall. So I had shot Breakin', and it was a huge box office hit. For a dancer to move from Hutchinson, Kansas, I grew up in a dance studio, to move out to LA to become a professional dancer and to have a starring role in a dance movie, it doesn't get better than that. That was like the ultimate dream come true. I had my 15 minutes of fame. And so when Ninja came out, I literally sat in the back, like going, oh, wow. It just like totally, it just fell flat. It didn't open big. I actually had a 5-picture deal with them to do A Break-In 3 and to do King Solomon's Mines and Quartermain. And things just kind of fell apart. And I think we were all just tired, and I think we were all tired of each other. I don't know, that some girl named Sharon Stone ended up going to Africa and shooting King Solomon's Mines and Quartermain instead of me. And, you know, it just was what it was. I decided to study, learn how to act after I'd done the movies. And the truth is that I met my husband after that, and we got married and have 2 beautiful children, and I stayed home and raised my kids, and it's been a really wonderful life. When I did it, I was all in. I tried as hard as I could. I was fully committed when I did it, and I'm very proud of that. Whether the outcome was great or not, whether people thought I was a great dancer or an actress or whatever, I know that I put everything I had into those films. And so for me, I'm very proud of that. Ninja 3, it never left me because I got recognized all the time. It really was out on the street. It's kind of crazy, but it's a cult film, and people that love that kind of movie love it. I was young, and my skin probably looked pretty darn good back then. I may just watch it again. Why not?